Hey, what's going on, folks? Well, it's Friday afternoon, and thankfully I'm off work and gonna hit up my local little spot here. Not terribly little, but not a very large reservoir. It's about a 5-minute drive away from work, so it's pretty convenient. Back in the early winter, probably December or so, I came out here after they had started really draining this place down and got out the boating app from Garmin and started marking structure and just different things that I could find just while walking along the bank. And we've had a fair amount of rain, not a ton of rain this winter, but a fair amount. And so lakes are starting to come up a little bit, and I'm thinking, well, water's warming up. We're getting a fair amount of rain this week. Got rain today, off and on, so it might be a decent day. And I'm thinking I might go and see if I can find some of that structure, and hopefully a lot of it is up underwater right now. It's submerged, and maybe we get lucky and get on some fish. I don't have a ton of time, maybe spend about an hour out there and call it quits, but we'll see. Had a fair amount of rain in the last couple of days, so hopefully the level of this lake has come up a bit. We'll see here in a minute. I was out earlier this winter when the water was really low, and it kind of gone through and marked a bunch of spots where there was these old foundations of old houses, and it looked like people had lived out here 70, 80 years ago or whatnot, before they dammed this creek off and created this reservoir. So I used the boating app and set a bunch of waypoints on that to hopefully we can kind of throw some stuff around those spots right now and find some fish. We'll see what we got going on though. Missed him. Probably can bite. Alright, let's move over to another spot here. I've got a couple other spots marked. Like I said, came out here kind of early winter after they drained this place down pretty far, and a lot of where this water was probably a good 20 feet out from where it is now. And there's all kinds of old foundations and brick walls and that sort of thing. So I'm thinking if we can get out
near some of that stuff that's filled back in. You know, water's been warming up. We're in the kind of mid water's like in the mid 50s right now. So fish are starting to move up a little bit shallower. Maybe we'll get lucky. Fish along this wall here. I don't know if I marked the stump that was out here. There's a pretty nice looking stump. Right in that area there. See if we can't find something. Few months here, this place will be lousy with bluegills. Come out here in the late spring, just pick bluegills out right off the bank. Oh, let's try swimming right past that again. Oh, did I just set the hook into? I think I found that stump. Well, whatever it was, sure grabbed a hold of that thing. I don't know what it is. It's probably just oiling this thing up, but cleaning it up, oiling it up, re-spooled it with some P-line. Just, I think it's the CX extra strong monofilament, and I swear this thing casts better than it ever did. I mean, it's just a pretty entry-level quantum pulse, you know, little, it's got like a 5-button magnetic brake on it, nothing fancy, you know, 5 bearings. I got it on Tackle Warehouse shortly after I started fishing. I think I paid $20 for it, $25, something like that. It was on closeout. I figured, well, $25 can't really go wrong, so why not give it a shot, right? And it's worked out pretty well. You know, sure, it's had its share of headaches with birds' nests and things like that, but I attribute most of that to my lack of experience and being a complete noob when it comes to fishing. So, you know, can you really blame the gear if you've got no idea what you're doing? Probably not. Alright. Go a little bit further over. This way. Let's see what else we can't find. Snagged into something. Over a tree. Let that sink down. Like I said, maybe I get lucky and something hits it on the fall. A little bit of rain falling on the water now. Oh. Fish right along that ledge there. Oh, nice. All the way across. Y'all ever feel like there just aren't any fish? I mean, I know there's got to be some fish around here somewhere. But I sure as heck don't seem to be all too interested in anything I'm doing. It sure is pretty out here, though. Hills are nice and green. I mean, people say what they want about California, but it's pretty hard to beat. I mean, I live in the Bay Area where I've got access to mountains and lakes, the beach, all within, a short drive, relatively speaking. I want to go up to the snow for the weekend. And yeah, I know, that's a California thing, right? Folks that live where it snows all the time don't understand that whole concept of going to the snow, right? But it's definitely something that Californians do. We visit the snow. We prefer not to live in it. But, you go to the mountains in the snow one day and be on the beach the next. Not much effort. Thought we had something there. Nope. Well, folks, I don't know. Yeah, that stuff's still there. That right there is where I really want to go. Let's get back over there real quick. Just going to give it a couple more minutes. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's get close with it. Realized I walked right by it and just kind of breezed right by that thing. Folks can see it's a turtle that met an untimely end here. Looks like he's been pecked away pretty good there. This stump here was on my mark. Oh, see this? So here's what I was talking about, folks. Tilt the camera down. You see, clearly there used to be some sort of domicile here. A little paver work. And this, before this was a lake or a reservoir. Well, of course, as soon as you walk away, you hear something bust on the surface. You know how it always goes. If I remember right, it was a wall somewhere around here. Let's throw the jig around, see if we can't get something to bite. Not sure what that was. Well, folks, it's starting to actually rain now, so being that I didn't bring any rain gear, I don't particularly feel like getting completely soaked. I think I'll probably start heading in. I fished for about a half an hour or so and got what felt like a couple of bites, but ultimately it was probably just some of the structure and cover that I'd found earlier in the winter, like I was talking about there. They get all packed up, and we'll see y'all next time.
Hey folks, well, we're back in the truck. I was just saying here, I wanted to take a break there and get the rods all loaded up and everything, and of course the GoPro died on me, so we're shooting from the phone here. But you know, ultimately it just didn't work out in my favor today. A lot of that structure I was talking about earlier was in fact underwater. There's a really nice wall, brick wall from an old dwelling that's probably about 30 or 40 feet off the bank right now, and you could feel it. You know, I threw a jig out there a few times. Camera ran out of battery, but I was throwing around a little Ned rig with a rabbit baits foxtail on it with the green pumpkin chartreuse. It's been really working out well for me. You know, you could feel the brick wall out there as you kind of drag things up and over it. You know, it's probably about 2 or 3 feet tall, and you could definitely feel it out there as you were hitting it and dragging things over it. But you know, didn't really feel any bites on that section. There were a few spots kind of where a couple of steep walls of the reservoir kind of drop off and meet to each other and create a little valley. And a few times there, it felt like I maybe had something kind of swipe at it when I was fishing that lipless, but ultimately didn't catch on to anything. So like I said earlier, I didn't really bring much with me. I just had the 3 rods that were just in the truck. Happened to have things tied on them. So other than that, I didn't really bring any extra gear. So I didn't have anything different to tie on as far as moving baits, or even like to throw out a Senko or something like that, just to try and make sure I get a bite. But it's never a bad day out on the water fishing. The rain got a little bit too much there, and so ultimately I had to kind of call it, and it started getting pretty bad. It's been raining off and on here last week, so hopefully this weekend we can get out and get on some fish. We'll head out to our normal spot, take the tiny boat out there, and we'll see what we got. Catch y'all later.